I think what's kept the franchise not only on its feet, but at the forefront of what fans want to see is the narrative about family. And I'm really hoping for that because I'm actually, I get the honor of bearing the Toretto name. So this is a huge development in the overall structure because Dom has always defined his family as those he holds closest, not necessarily those who share his last name. But in this installment, you actually learn of another Toretto, Jakob, Dom's brother. So it's really exciting, and I think once you introduce a possible brother, meanwhile, as Dom is facing fatherhood, so really is a strong weave of family in all the narratives. And I know fans flock to the theater to see the action. I think they stay and return to see the story, and the story is about family. I'm a huge fan, and it shows the staying power. So it wasn't like I had to I got to go back and do my research to find out what this is about. I was one of the young people captivated by the first installment, and I've watched ever since. So it was easy to kind of fall in line. I remember meeting certain members on the cast, meeting all the members of the cast for the first time and being like, whoa, that's Ramsey, or that's Letty, or that's Dom. Like, starstruck because, and knowing them as their characters, which is coming from a WWE standpoint, sometimes I'll call the superstars by their real names, and a lot of times I'll refer to them by their characters because they're so convincing as their characters. And this crew has been together for 2 decades now, so you can't help, as an outsider being invited in for the first time, to be like, that's Mia, or Tej and Roman. Like, it's just who they were to me before I was able to introduce myself and have conversation. The psychology of each fight is different. Therefore, the performance should be different. I remember speaking with Vin in depth about what can we do? And the thought process I have about performances like that and their meaning. Brothers fight different. I have 4 siblings. They're all boys, and we kick the crap out of each other. And I've won fights, I've lost fights because we're all very close in age. Brothers will fight dirty. They will, but it's accepted because it's your brother. So although the fight between Dom and Jakob is truly spectacular, and the fight with Sue is much more close quarter just because of the setting, the psychology essentially as you approach the fight should change. What is the story we're trying to tell? Jakob is fighting for his life on the roof of a moving vehicle, or Jakob is finally standing up to his brother in the one fight he thinks he can win. Getting a job to be able to tell a story to a global franchise where the focus is cars, that is something special for me. It's really cool to be surrounded by elements of automotive culture every single day. Every piece of this movie is interwoven with modifications and concepts and current production models you haven't seen yet. It really also still keeps its roots to the car culture, to the cartoon culture, and to people clamoring for what's next in the car world. I think it's really special in that regard.
I'm incredibly pleased with Ramsey's growth through these movies because she started out as someone who was a bit of a loner and kind of terrified of everything this group does. She's like a tech girl who is used to probably being in a room somewhere hacking away. She's not jumping from cars and doing crazy, action driving. And so to see her confidence grow and to see her, prove herself to be a really instrumental part of this group is just so cool and really exciting. And yeah, I've had such a blast being a badass in this movie in a new way. She's always a badass, but in a new way. When I tell you, on the day that Anna and Jordana and Michelle and I were all on set for the first time together, I was like, this is amazing. Because, like, there's not been that many of us, like, at one time. There's obviously so many brilliant female characters throughout the course of the franchise, but to have, like, 4 kind of badass women just, like, together, oh, yeah, it's so exciting. And, everybody brings their own really important component, and it's just really exciting to see that rise of a female voice within the series. It's just, really exciting, but also really necessary. I love John Cena. I used to watch wrestling quite a bit. Yeah, I was so excited when I found out John Cena was gonna be in these films. I mean, yeah, I've like the nostalgia of him in WWE is very real in my heart, and yeah, and I've obviously seen him in other movies, and he's so great, and he just really embodies everything that these films are about, and he's such a good guy as well. He's just like really lovely, and it's been a real pleasure to like meet and work with him. And if you follow him on Twitter, he's really wise, and I've decided that he should be my life coach just generally in life. So there's that. I really love working with Chris. He's such a sweet and kind individual, really, really funny, and we have a great time working together. But this film, he's been really interested in what my vegan option is at lunch, and he's been eating all my vegan food. And so for a minute there, I was like, okay, dude, we're friends, but like, don't come for my snacks, because, they're very important to me. Ramsey doesn't know how to drive. Natalie knows how to drive. Not really. No, I don't. I do know how to drive. I just don't have a license. But yeah, so Ramsey and I have that in common. Yeah, it's very funny because Ramsey's kind of put in a situation where she's the only one who's available to drive and this vehicle, and she kind of has to admit that she doesn't drive or can't drive, because her job is not to drive. She's not the fast car driving action driver. No, like, not at all. She is working very hard within her computer, within her gadgets, trying to oversee everything and hack into surveillance and mainframes and all this stuff. And so her job within this group is not to drive. And then she's kind of forced into a situation where she has to drive not just like a little car, it's like a huge truck. And yeah, she, there's some sort of growing pains at the beginning, and then she kind of finds her groove and again gets to prove her place within this group. And yeah, it's been really fun and exciting, and made me think like, okay, it's time to go and get your driver's license now. Yeah, I said that on like the first movie actually, so it's been about 6 years where I've been saying that, so it's actually time.
As I continue to show up and show out in these movies, the crowd and the audience has to see some sort of progression, some sort of growth, something that they did not know about this character. So I couldn't be happier about the growth and about the progress, and you continue to learn more things about him. A lot of people didn't even know he could whoop ass until Furious 7. So, I'm very happy with the way things are going with the character, and I hope that all the fans that love this particular character understand the same thing. What's going to separate Fast 9 from all the previous films? I feel like just when you thought we could not surprise you more, we're going to do it all over again. I continue myself to be amazed at how we find things that we didn't even know about these characters, about their families, about the plots and the twists, and so many things that you thought were one way and they turn out to be completely opposite. So I think when people see Fast 9, they're just going to realize once again we have 100% reinvented ourselves, and that's what we seem to do each and every time. What surprised me most when I read the script of Fast 9? Obviously the fact that Dom had a brother that none of us knew about. I mean, it's crazy enough that we've been living vicariously through the strength, power, and confidence of Dom Toretto himself, and now there's another Toretto out here that we don't even know about, besides Mia, of course. And this particular Toretto has the same skill sets, power, strength, and confidence, if not more, than our beloved Dom, but he's using his powers for evil. The fact that off camera we are a fast family, you know, not just on camera. And when we say family, all of our kids play together. We invite each other over, you know, for birthdays and all these different events. So yes, we get to see each other as fathers off screen. So it makes it that much more special when we're on screen. And yes, I think that over the years, this is the perfect timing for us to play these roles when it's dealing with family and dealing with being a parent. And, you know, it couldn't be better. It couldn't be a better time because it resonates on and off screen. Man, Tej is always going to push Roman's button just because he gets a kick out of it. I'm glad that the fans say that they love, you know, the chemistry between me and Roman, because we're kind of like the comedic relief in the movie, and we always have a lot of jokes, and we are able to kind of go off script every now and then and really give people, you know, an element of urban culture and just an element of laughs that we have completely off the top of our heads come up with at the last minute. And a lot of those takes are the ones that are used in the movie. And I think that's why people identify with our chemistry and laugh so much with us. So we appreciate that.
I love driving cars in movies, and I always try to do my own driving if I can in a movie. And because I love it, I love the process. You know, it's very fun because very often the roads are being closed for you. You know, this was a match made in heaven for me. And I love the juxtapositioning of the themes in Fast and Furious. It's sort of, you know, this wonderful mad ride that the audience go on, but it's always underpinned with real emotion, with stories of family. So, you know, I thought I'd enjoyed the franchise, and I was very desirous to be a part of it. Chemistry is a very strange thing, isn't it? He's someone that I dearly love and respect and feel comfortable with, and I think maybe it is because we're very different from each other, you know, not just in age, or, you know, I'm British and he's American, so we're really very, very different from each other, but there is some sort of strange connection there. Vin has showed himself to be such a sort of gentle and loyal friend. He really is, and I'm very, very lucky to have him a little bit in my life. This says it all. She's in a diamond store, and she ain't buying. Let's put it that way. Queenie doesn't pay retail for anything.
It's a lot of movie, and I read 20 pages at a time because I just needed to breathe for a second, because it was just so much action, so much energy jumping off these pages. It's like when you're reading a good book, you just got to put it down and just, whew, I need a minute. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how Justin, as a director, was able to implement so much movie. That's my Phil Jackson. That's my sensei. That's my Mr. Miyagi. That's the Holy Grail. He's the heartbeat of this franchise. No one knows these characters. No one knows the world better than Justin Lin. For anyone to make you believe that black people aren't friends with white people aren't friends with Asians, Asians aren't friends with Latinos, Latinos aren't friends with Muslims or Arabs. I don't really know what world you live in, but it's not the world that we represent. Long before it was cool to be diverse in Hollywood, there was the Fast and the Furious. It's one thing to read it. It's another thing to see it, talk with it, look at it, experience it. That's when it becomes more real for me. And that's what happened after I met John. I was like, holy shit. He really can. He's gonna be able to make the world believe that he's actually a Toretto. Same complexion, same kind of aggressive energy, and just seeing him and Vin on set for the first day of filming, eye to eye, you know, was crazy. And kind of made me want to step in and, hey, break it up.
Well, my management said that Vin Diesel reached out and he was talking about a role that on the next Fast and Furious will become a bigger role. And I'm like, why not? You know, I was a little over doing short appearances in films, but I'm like, it's freaking Fast and Furious. So I was like, get me there, put me on a plane. I was really nervous. You know what I'm saying? I was really nervous. You know, Vin Diesel, he always played like this very serious guy in films. So it's just like, oh, I'm scared. But he's just so nice, so dope. He makes you feel so comfortable. And that's pretty cool. I like that. I think she's conceited and she's very confident. You know, there's a difference between conceited and confident, but I think she's really both. And I guess she's very competitive and she's just that bitch. That's what I could say about her. She's really that bitch. Lisa's really that bitch. It does feel great because I remember when I saw Ludacris in Fast and Furious, I was so happy and excited because I grew up listening to Ludacris. And then I remember when the whole reggaeton movement started when I was like 10 years old. I was practically like 10 years old. And when I saw Tego Calderon in the movie and the music, I was just like, oh my God, I know him, I know him, I love him. And then to see Don Omar, it was just like a I don't know, like it just was like a hype in the you know, Latin community. Everybody was pretty happy and felt like a hopesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to describe it because reggaeton is not, it's a big genre, but it's almost like kind of shunned because it's, you know, you know how it is. It's gangsta, it's slutty. So when you see those artists from that genre in these big movies, it's just like it makes the hood have hope.
Primero que nada, me tomó por sorpresa. fue entre el equipo de trabajo y nosotros, una agencia nos consiguió esta oportunidad, y para mí cuando me lo dijeron no lo creía, porque venirle a hacer películas tan como decimos nosotros, criollas, tan locales, pues a darle un papel en la película de Fast 9 es como que un sueño hecho realidad. Créeme, increíble. Lo más importante que he tomado es que todas las culturas están juntas, todos los idiomas, Puerto Rico, China, Japón, Estados Unidos, todos estamos juntos. Entonces trae muchas culturas, trae muchos fans a lo que es la película, además de todos los fans que ya tiene la película, pero pues ahora se expande más porque pues estamos abriendo otros lenguajes, otras culturas y algo diferente a lo que son las pasadas películas. Ella va conociendo otra faceta de Ozuna, que no tan solamente es hacer música ni producir, sino que también cantar y escuchar esa voz en una actuación. Sé que a la gente pues, le va a causar un poco de emoción, de intriga. Entonces es algo gigante, algo gigante. Pues mira, me sentí un poco, pues, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Nervioso, entrar los nervios en cualquier aspecto. Hasta cuando voy a la tarima, entrar los nervios, ver todas estas cámaras encima de mí, ver una producción gigante que nunca había visto antes. Me llenó un poco me dio un poco de nervio, pero me sentí tranquilo y confié en mí, confié en el papel. Lo estudié mucho, estudié toda esta semana, así que vine bien preparado y ya lo tomé como que era parte de eso y era como si fuera una familia. Pues mira, Santo es un joven, ya Santo es la película realmente, ya es alguien mayor, pero pues es un joven en una prisión buscándonos, pues nos buscamos un pequeño casito, un pequeño problema. Entonces mi compañero no se atreve a decir la verdad, no se atreve a decir por qué está ahí, está ilusionando que está por otra cosa y estamos porque robamos un banco. Entonces yo lo llevo a la realidad, de parte de que también tenemos el primer como que encontronazo con Dump, que es bien. Entonces como que una emoción, todos somos jóvenes, imaginarse también ya que estamos en la realidad, que el papel ya es mayor, nosotros estamos haciendo un papel del 90 y pico, sobre una intriga. Lo voy a poner claro aquí en este mensaje: nunca paren de soñar. Que alguien que te diga que no, rompe esa puerta, rompe esa barrera y haz lo posible. Yo un día soñé con estar haciendo películas, no tan joven, pero soñé con estar ahí. Estamos aquí en Fast 9, entonces empezar desde bien de abajo hasta ver el proceso y estar aquí con cada una de las personas que también pasaron por el mismo proceso es algo gigante. Así que nunca paren de soñar, sigan sus metas, sigan luchando, sea música o cualquier cosa que hagan, sigan ahí firmes, siempre agarrados de la mano de Papito Dios, y buen trabajo con el corazón, es parte de. Because I'm come from music, I do music, like Latin music, so my fans see me like speak in English, in Spanish, like half and half, and I'm from Dominican and Puerto Rico, and that's like the two cultures in one. Entonces that's important right now for my fans. Hard. That's a good man. That's that's a dream for me, because I'm see like the Saga, the movie, and that's a dream. I'm in Fast 9. That's a dream, a real dream.
Hi guys, here's today's action-packed fact. The Fast and Furious films offer high-octane fueled plots, but many actors, like Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster, were so young at the time that they didn't even have a driver's permit. Good thing their talent allowed them to be in the movies anyway. By the way, what is your favourite film in the franchise? Let us know. Remember to click below to subscribe, on the side, for more great content.